So hey everybody, this is Mike Berkler, publisher of East County Today. Trying something new. We're going to start a new series interviewing people within the community. My first guest, and most of you know who he is, Steve Todd, the Brentwood VFW Post 10789. And so what we hope to do is just educate the community and talk about some of the positiveness going on. So Steve, for those that don't know your long bio, why don't you give a short little elevator resume pitch?
Short bio. Well, my name's Steve Todd. I'm the commander for the VFW Post 10789 here, based out of Brentwood. We serve the communities of Byron, Discovery Bay, Brentwood, Knights, and Bethel Island and Oakley. I'm also the district senior vice commander for District 10, which covers basically San Francisco to Byron. I'm also the vice president of the Brentwood Lions Club. I'm in the American Legion, the Marine Corps League, the DAV, among a few other things. I'm a retired police captain, and I've been here for about 8 years now, here in Brentwood.
And so, what is the VFW? What exactly does it do?
Well, the VFW works with local veterans groups. We work with our communities, our police departments, our schools, the ROTC programs. We foster camaraderie with local veterans groups and with the veteran community. We do a lot of fundraisers, a lot of outings. Just bringing veterans together and to bring them back in. For those who don't know what we do, a lot of times it's giving them a sense of belonging after they get out of the military. We work with them to file claims on their behalf for service connections. Got tons of stuff. We do a lot of special outings where we take veterans on hikes. We take them to races. Whatever they come up with, we try to do.
So one of the things that really makes Steve a really good dude is that you really encompass bringing everybody together versus the idea of we're only one organization. We could do A, B, C, and D, whereas Steve kind of wants to bring everyone together and do something bigger. And where did that philosophy come from, and why do you go down that road versus trying to take credit?
I qualified for the VFW by going to Korea, and I secondly qualified from the Gulf War. When I got back in 1991, in Robo City, we were approached by the VFW out there, giving everybody free memberships. And back then we thought it was Grandpa's club. We're too young for that kind of stuff. So I took the membership, I let it expire, and I didn't come back around until I met some guys from this post in Tracy at an event, and they said I should come check it out. So I did, and that was 2009, and by the end of that year, they had made me the commander of the post. So I took it over, and when I did, I found that everybody here was kind of fighting with each other, all the VSOs. Nobody wanted to give in to the other. And I approached some of the guys from the Marine Corps League and the American Legion and said, "What the heck are you guys all fighting about?" And they had some stories that went back quite a ways between the different VSOs here. And I said, "Look, I'm new. What the hell are we fighting about?" Since that time, we got to know everybody pretty good, and a lot of the VFW members started crossing over into the other VSOs. So we had some of the members also joined the Marine Corps League. Some of the members joined the American Legion, and later on down the road, everybody was kind of joined into other VSOs out of this building. So it made life a lot easier. We worked a lot with J.J. Johnson, Johnny Johnson, who we have up on the wall here, who was in charge of the Legion at the time, and great guy, did a lot for us, and I learned a lot from him. As so, what we could and should be doing, And I had a Legion guy telling a VFW guy how things should go, but it worked well. Johnny was a good inspiration. He helped me out greatly.
You've done a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about. and which is good. And that goes back to your belief that you don't always need to get credit for what you do. And it's not just you. I mean, I know you get help from others, members, and
Oh, yeah.
people in the community. So I don't want to just say it's all you.
No, it's not all me.
But I mean, what are some of the things that you've done? I know you've done the wheelchair giveaways, refurbished power wheelchairs, held many fundraisers, fixed people's houses.
What we do? We started, oh gosh, about 3 or 4 years ago. One of our first fundraisers. We were approached by Jim Frazier's office. They had a girl. Well, let me back up. We got a wheelchair donated to us by a friend of mine. His wife donated to us. He had passed away. She didn't know what to do with his wheelchair, so I said, well, hey, we'll just clean it up and donate it to a veteran. And that's kind of where it started. And Jim Frazier, the assemblyman, approached me and said, hey, I got this girl. She's not a veteran, but she lives in Antioch, and she has cerebral palsy. And we were having our very first poker run, scavenger hunt. And so I said, well, bring her to that, and we'll I didn't have anybody asking for a wheelchair at the time, so I was like, hey, we'll give it to her. So they did. As a matter of fact, they brought the whole group from the school they go to. We had them come over as guests, and we donated the chair to her, and it was quite...
She was emotional.
Well, yeah, and she was very emotional. She was... When we took her out of her chair, which was literally taped together with duct tape, and put her in the chair, she started crying, and I thought we did something wrong.
Well, I think we all did.
Yeah, I was looking at everybody going, oh, what did we do? And that was just her way of showing how happy she was. And we still see her today, and this is 4 years later. She still has the same chair, and you see her cruising all over Antioch in that chair. So, that was a big wow for us. And ever since then, when chairs came in, we would fix them up. And, we get calls from people in the community, from veterans, family members of veterans, looking for chairs. And when we have one, they kind of go on a list. And when it comes in, hey, we got one for you. Hope it works for you. But then if we don't have any chairs, a couple other groups have started the same program. The Delta Veterans Groups started a program with wheelchairs, and Immaculate Heart of Mary, the church there, their Knights of Columbus had started the same similar program, and which is really good because a lot of times you don't have stuff to go around, and now I can call up one of them and say, hey, I've got a veteran, needs a chair. Can I give you his phone number? And they've helped me out with giving these veterans wheelchairs as well.
So it comes back to the whole idea of everyone working together to try and make lives better for other people.
Exactly. And it's worked. They've given out a lot of chairs. The Delta Veterans Group have given out a lot of wheelchairs to veterans in need, and they encompass a bigger area than I do. So it's really worked out well.
And on a personal level, I know that you've been doing side projects for people's homes, laying hardwood floor or tile, and
yeah, we work with. We'll get calls once in a while from veterans, and they're not. Most of the time, they're not members of the post, nor do they have to be. But they're retired combat veterans or 100% combat veterans, disabled combat veterans, and a lot of them only make so much money. Some of them don't even have claims filed, or they're just living on Social Security. A lot of their homes are in a bad need of repair. So when we get calls like this, usually the county supervisor calls us, or just anybody in the community. We'll go assess it, and our criteria is, I'm a disabled veteran, but I can fix everything. We don't just go to somebody's house just because they're a disabled veteran.
Sure.
We see the need. They're putting their food and rent before their place, and if they kind of meet our criteria, then we just go in and we do all the work free of charge, materials, everything. I have a group of guys here who, some are electricians, plumbers, carpenters, and we pick a date when we get together and we go over there. I mean, sometimes it's just as simple as repairing fences, but we've done a lot of that too.
And so, where did this idea of giving back come from? Was it, I mean, who instilled that in you of giving back to the community and those that may need a little extra help?
Well, gosh, I think that was instilled at an early age. I was raised with a tough work ethic, where work came first and everything else came second. I hated it at the time, but when I grew up, it just worked out well for me. When I retired, I thought it was going to be the greatest thing, and there was really nothing for me to do out here but twiddle my thumbs. You know, you can only fish so much, and it was killing my wife. You know, you need to find something to do. Well, this kind of fell into my lap, and I said, well, I started meeting people out here, doing little community projects, little fundraisers, and they just kind of snowballed into a lot of other things, and now it's pretty much an everyday thing. I do this probably 5-6 days a week, and I've canceled vacations, won 5 times in a row just to handle something that was going on here. We do a lot of funeral services for veterans in the community. We work with the Warriors Watch Riders, with the military escort teams. We rent the hall out sometimes to people who aren't members of this post or the Marine Corps League or the American Legion. They'll rent the hall out to do a celebration of life. Normally, if you're a member of the post or of this veterans building, if you were to do something like that, a celebration of life for a family member or veteran, it would be free. A lot of times people don't know that. We will find out about it through the hall manager, and I will actually just come out and talk to the people and set the hall up for them with the flowers and everything we have, just to make it a better experience for the families. Put on the coffee and stuff free of charge for them. So that's just one of the little things we do. A lot of it's really working on veterans' houses. We just did a air conditioning unit for a 92-year-old World War II Korean War vet who was, he's terminal, but he's still baffling his doctors. And they wanted to move him out of his little kind of a shack of a trailer. So we stepped in with the help of Diane Burgess' office, the county supervisor, and put a brand new air conditioner in his window for him, and then fixed his front porch, which was full of holes with boards covering it. So gave him a little piece there. We had a meeting with the VA to help raise his monthly income, and with a hospice and with Meals on Wheels. So things are looking better for him, but we'll still be going back over there and do some more electrical work for him.
Now, you mentioned something for yourself. You could only fish so much. Where do you like to fish?
Anywhere. I'll go to Contra Loma, I'll go to Nevada. We have some lakes up there we fish in. I'll go to the river. We have a guy who lives on the river off of Sand Mountain. We'll go out in his backyard off the dock. Take my boy, he kills me every day. When are we going to go fishing? That's it for around here.
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
A trout, actually, over at Don Pedro. Nobody wanted to go out early morning. I went out in my boat and I hit up a couple guys. Hey, you want to go fishing? Hell no. So I went out there and I just kind of trolling around in circles. And I caught it. No kidding. I know our stories are like it's this big. It's a pretty good sized trout. Then everybody wanted to go out fishing, you know.
And then who in the community has really been like a good, partner for you in getting everything rolling and allowing you to continue to do what you do?
There's a lot of groups out here that help us out. We have a lot of businesses that sponsor us and help us out. We have a lot of these VSOs, like the American Legion and the Marine Corps League. We started doing a lot more stuff together, so we're all kind of working together now. But I mean, I get help from the schools, I get help from the city of Brentwood, the city of Oakley. Um,
So a lot,
there's a lot of people. I
so
mean,
lots of people to name. Too many to name then.
I mean, we
And you
have,
want to be polite.
yeah. You gotta. I'd love to name them all, but one of our good sponsors is Monkey Wrenches here in Brentwood. Um, they help us to take disabled veterans to races, which we have one coming up on the 30th. So we'll be taking them, probably 5 to 6 veterans over to the races free of charge with VIP tickets.
Sure.
We do the Baton Death March every year at White Sands, New Mexico, and a lot of the community comes and helps out with that.
Now, how important is it? Because you guys put on a lot of event fundraisers, and what people need to understand about these events is they help raise funds to allow the VFW and other organizations to give back to the community. And how can people help you on those events going forward?
You'll see us out at the various Safeways and stores throughout town in Discovery Bay, handing out the poppy flowers,
Yeah.
which is our poppy drive. We do it twice a year in November and in May. All the money's collected from that, and I mean all the money's, goes into that fund, and we use that for veterans in need in this area. We've given. We'll pay rents. We can pay PG&Es, water bills, help with food, help with car repairs. We've had them really good before.
So there's a big check mark process. And
Yeah, we really check with to make sure they are who they are and the need is there. The money doesn't go to them directly. It pays the actual bill. Bring me the bill. Show me this. We vet you, and we pay the bill.
so you actually physically call and pay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We've had guys being kicked out of their homes to where we've stepped in and called the landlords and said, hey, look, we're working with this guy. Can you give him a few days? And we'll get these calls when they're on their day 2 of their 3-day notice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that quick. And for the most part, a lot of the owners, landlords do work with us. There was one where we had to go to they're past Sacramento, Roseville, to pay that to pay it at a certain time, or else it wouldn't work. So
Yeah.
the fund depletes pretty quick, and then sometimes we don't get any calls.
Sure.
We put out a lot of money this last year so far, and so we're constantly trying to think out of the box to do a fundraiser, or what can we do to raise more money for that fund. It used to just be the poppy drive. And now, the sign of the times, people are hurting more and more people are becoming homeless, or, as I say, one check away from being homeless. So we step in and try to help. And again, they really don't have to be a member of this post. It's something the VFW does. We're here to help. We're here to help anybody, other groups, other posts.
So what are the qualifications then to become a member?
To be a member of the VFW, you have to serve in a theater of operation, a combat zone. If you're on a ship in certain latitude and longitude of a theater of operations, or serve in Korea 30 days or more in Korea. There's a few other ones that they keep changing with our current situations, but that's the qualification for the VFW.
So through all of your experiences in giving back, what's been kind of the greatest experience on a personal level that you've had?
Wow. I think, there's been a few, but I think Maria, with the first wheelchair we gave away, was an experience. I didn't know how to take that. Again, we thought we did something wrong. But to see the joy in her face, understanding that was her joy, was pretty awesome. And that kind of really kicked it in. We did a house in Oakley where he was falling through the floor literally. So the team of my guys went over there and tore out the subfloor in 2 rooms and replaced the subfloor and tiled it all for him. And that was a lot of work.
How many days were you on that?
We were there easily a couple of weeks, and then we fixed the water pump out there.
And that was just people coming together and doing
Yeah,
the work.
and say, hey, we got a guy, or somebody will come to me. Hey, I know this guy who kind of needs this. We'll go over and work on it. We had another lady who was disabled, could hardly use her hands, and we went over, and she had 5 trees that fell over. A couple through the fence. So between her and her neighbor's house, we're cutting down trees and repairing the fences, and their backyard was looked like a jungle, so we went and cleaned out her whole backyard. Probably about 6-7 dump loads, and with the wood and stuff as well, but fixed the fences, the gates, looked good.
See, this guy just, you're a giver, and you don't want the credit. And I know you don't want the credit.
I don't need the credit.
You don't want
I've done a lot in my life where, I've gotten plenty, but, and you're sitting here talking to me, interviewing me, but, none of this would really be possible without the help of the Post. A lot of the guys in the Post are that dedicated as I am.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of guys in the Post don't even want the recognition.
No.
They don't even want their names mentioned. They're very honorable people.
And I would mention one, but I'm not going to because he'll get on me. But yeah, these guys are great.
So you're the face.
I'm the face. I also get in the trenches with them. I wouldn't have anybody do anything I wouldn't do.
Sure.
So lead by example. I'm a in the trench kind of guy. I'll do the work, but then I'm also the one people talk to. So yeah, I'm the face. But it wouldn't be possible without the help of the Post.
Yeah.
The Post does a lot of work. We just did the Harvest Fest.
Sure.
All I wanted to do was set up a booth, so we helped them set up the fences, and my guys set up the booth or anything. We ran a beer. We had fun.
Yeah.
It was hot. Boy, was it hot. But
good beer.
Yeah, to me it was too hot to drink beer. It was just hot.
It's never too hot.
It was.
Nope. I don't believe you.
Saturday was miserable heat. Let me tell you. Sunday was fine. Sunday was a good day.
That's beer drinking weather.
Yeah, good bands. They had the band Nova out there playing. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. The parade, we did the first parade ever here in Brentwood, which was fun. Next year will be even bigger for us because I met somebody the other night that I was in the military with. It's high up the food chain, so I guess I'll be getting a lot of vehicles from him to be in the parade. So
cool.
Make it better.
I appreciate you being the very first.
Yeah.
Being my guinea pig here. It's really an honor to sit down and talk with you and kind of watch you guys continue to grow. Lead by example. Kind of what you said was, you're not going to ask somebody to do something that you're not going to do yourself, and I think that more people could learn from that. So.
And remember, there's a lot of groups doing good things out here besides us.
Sure.
We have a stand down coming up next month, actually.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks. What time just flies.
Yeah.
It flies. This is my 8th year, and it seems like I've only been here for a couple of years. It really does. But yeah, a lot of things coming up. We post everything that we know of that's coming up. We share events for other people on our websites, particularly Facebook. But
yeah. So you guys have a website, Facebook. You're located down here on at First Street.
757 First Street is the Veterans Memorial Building. I know people call it the VFW Hall or the American Legion Hall. I guess you could still do that, but it's the Brentwood Veterans Memorial Building is its actual title. Yeah.
So if you guys want to get involved, come down, talk to Steve, attend their events, donate. Whether it's revenue or gift basket or something for one of their events that they could raffle off. That's always a big help. Steve, it's been awesome. Appreciate it, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, and just another thing, all the monies that are donated stay in this district, stay in this area to local veterans and families in the community. Our money doesn't go outside my district here. It doesn't go to national to help them with their lobbying. A lot of times when people donate to veteran causes, they send it to a national organization. The VSOs down to the bottom of the food chain, we'll never see that. That's done for their marketing, stuff like that. You know, people think, well, I gave to national, so you know I'm helping. You know, we don't see a dime of that.
Sure.
You know, we have to get out there and do this for ourselves to help out the veterans. So it's a labor of love.
Keep it up.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.